Hi, I'm Scott, 23 Powersports. Today I want to show you the Sand Sniper 1500 built by BMS. They've actually had this car for a lot of years. Used to use the 1000. Everybody thought it was a Suzuki. Well, technically I guess it was. Suzuki Sidekick motor, it used to be. That's not how the world turns though. The second largest engine builder built the motor, sold it to Suzuki. Same with this. This one, the kiddies all think it's a Mazda motor. The engine was built by the second largest engine builder. Sold Ford threw it to some of their Mazdas. I'm an ex-pro driver. I've done everything but the salt. Drag bikes, Vipers, Corvettes, road racing, on and on and on. So this is my opinion of the car. It is an all steel frame. So no, on one side, you do not have the brag rights of the lightweight alloys. The other side of the coin, you notice the tubing is small, you end up weighing the same amount, and it is very strong. Go talk to all your buddies who spent their 30,000 bucks for whoever. Every one of them went out and bought another $3,000 roll cage to put on top of it to get away from the factory roll cage. All my customers up there tell me the turbos can't get away from it, and yet they're rated 195 horse. Well, I'm not going to go too deep on that one, but we already know what the story is in horsepower and where that horsepower is being measured from. Torque. I made comment, I used to race Corvettes, and then I got my paws on a Viper, ended up on the Viper racing team. I love that car. I won everything because of the torque. It's not about horsepower, it's about friggin' torque. It's squatted down like a trophy truck. You've got a lot of width. The bottom line to it, there's no way in hell you can roll this thing without going off a cliff. In fact, the kid that's filming it, now 18, I remember when he was 10, some guy climbing out of a car at Sand Mountain, making comment, you were scaring the hell out of me, I would have rolled 7 different places. Well, we already know what he was driving. I'm not knocking them, I just don't agree with them being all jacked up off the ground. My opinion, you cannot be a rock crawler and a go fast. They're two different animals. Yeah, I'm wearing my most polite shirt for what's going on in this country at this point in time. They did an amazingly good job. I'm not a fan of Asian shocks. I hate to tell you where Fox and King is built now, by the way. You notice you've got a 2,500 pound winch on the front. You got some kind of LED here. You got some more up top. Then, of course, you're all LED for your headlights and high beams and whatnot. I don't care if you're 6'5", you're going to have enough room inside. You've got all your gauges telling you everything under the sun. Obviously, again, 5 gears. By the way, it is a little dusty because it belongs to a customer. You got a rack on the top for storage. Fans up top for good cooling. I've sold Zulus of these over the years, and I get 0 issues. That's why I sell the product. In about 60-65% of the country, you can street legal these. Of course, not California. It's a 1.5 liter motor. It's rated at 108 horse. But again, go back to the torque. Like I said, I got a Zulu to customers at Sand Mountain saying the turbos can't get away from them. You might be able to call it a negative on the suspension. I don't know for a fact because I don't know who's lying and who's not. You got to go measure yourself or you'll never really know. Did a well and good job on how the shocks feel. You're probably about 2, 3, maybe 4 inches less travel, maybe. But the question mark is, 1, where are you going to find that you're missing the travel? And then secondly, you're going to notice, look at all the racetracks across the country. None of them have whoops. Those cars for their $30,000, they're not trophy trucks. They don't have 3.5, 4 feet of travel. So they just simply got rid of all the whoops because they can't handle them. BMS has I believe it's 100,000, I know it's mammoth, it's like 100,000 square foot warehouse in Southern California. They've been in business 21 years. I've been with them for coming on to a decade now. I've sold a couple thousand units. I get the least amount of headaches. These things have never broken. I get customers that do foolish things. I had a guy tear a wheel off. He hit a boulder at 50 mile an hour. It was 200 bucks in parts. If it was anybody else's name on that car, you already know. It would have been 4 times that minimum just for the parts. So for being that the car is half the price, I think it's one hell of a value. Oh, by the way, we got it in 2-door and 4-door. This car is 2-wheel drive. You should have seen the stuff I used to climb with my mother's stock Volkswagen when I was a kid. Not let alone a lightweight big old knobby car, and I've climbed some goofy stuff with this. You're not going to go straight up the face of a rock, but everything else you're going to do no problem. Now, if you're living in the mud, yes, we have a V-Twin 1000. It's the same frame setup, but they put the V-Twin 1000 motor in it. And by the way, anybody that sells a V-Twin 800 or 1000 motor, it all came from one company. And yeah, they're using that company. So I don't care if you're buying a Can-Am or a Odes or anybody, it's all the same motor. It's a great motor. They all went to that engine. You got other questions? Give me a call.